Today on The Gold Standard.
We're talking about silver today because of where it is in the market and the opportunity that it presents, risk versus reward.
This is The Gold Standard from Midas Gold Group with Kenneth Russo. Hello, I'm Dave Dino. Welcome to The Gold Standard, your source for secure investment opinion and information on the advantages of purchasing and owning precious metals. Whether you're a novice investor or an experienced collector, this is the program that gives you a realistic weekly perspective on the state of the economy, reliable information about using precious metals such as gold, silver, and platinum to safeguard your wealth, and remarkable details about specific precious metal coins and bullion. Ken Russo is a senior vice president at Midas Gold Group, and his peers characterize him as a straight shooter who will work harder for you than anyone else, and you're going to hear that today. Ken, it is a pleasure to join you again this week.
Nice to be with you again this week, Dave. We have a new exciting topic for our listeners today.
Yes, we do, indeed. And usually at the start of our program together, we review the economy and its impact on our personal wealth. But our topic today is the advantages of owning silver. By this time, everyone is aware of record runaway inflation and the looming threat of recession, further reducing the value of our savings and our retirement accounts. So today's topic is one that I am particularly excited about. And instead of just kind of reviewing the bleak economic information and data that's out there, let's get right to it. Let's jump right into our topic. In my dealings with Midas Gold Group, I have accumulated a fair amount of silver to go along with my gold. Now, gold usually takes the spotlight, but you say that silver can also be a good precious metal to have in our physical collection or in our precious metal IRA. Why is that?
Yeah, and obviously price is important, and the price of gold and the price of silver in the last 6 months have come down from highs, and that's why we're talking about it. Let's remember, folks, $100 20 years ago is now worth a little over $50 in buying power. So that's what we're talking about today. And what assets could we own that could combat that? What will hold our purchasing power? And let's begin, Dave, with a little bit of history. Like gold, silver has long been viewed as a private, tangible form of wealth. Today, in a global financial system where money is paper, printed out of thin air by private banks and commercial banks, with the stroke of a computer key, that's what we're talking about, folks, week after week after week, that kind of a system is a house of cards, and eventually it's going to, fold. It's going to come crashing down with all this debt, and our retirement accounts and individual accounts are at serious risk of losing tremendous value, if not mostly all of their value. And we're asking ourselves today, can silver also be used as well as gold to preserve wealth? And the history of silver, Dave, is used as money, goes all the way back to Lydian civilization, believe it or not, in 600 BC, which is now called Turkey. Silver coins were adopted by the Persians after their conquest of the region. Silver coins were minted by the Greeks, the Romans, and the Chinese. For us in America, Dave, the U.S. Mint has struck silver coins since its establishment in 1792. Right from the beginning, the value of silver was recognized by the government and obviously by the public.
We're going to talk about silver coins in just a few minutes, but aside from coinage, I understand that silver's value is supported by and driven by a different use these days.
Yeah, and this is the main reason when people come on in or talk to us on the telephone, why they're intrigued by the silver potential. And remember, folks, the volatility of silver is always greater than the volatility of gold. If gold goes up, silver should go up by a bigger percentage. If gold goes down, silver should go down by a bigger percentage. And we're talking about silver today because of where it is in the market and the opportunity that it presents, risk versus reward. And you're right, Dave. Adding to silver's historical value as money, there's also now an industrial perspective. Silver is regarded by engineers and scientists as the best conductor of heat and electricity among all elements known to mankind. As you know, silver is strong, it's malleable and ductile, and can endure the most extreme temperatures. Today, a great deal of silver's value, Dave, is derived from what has become its essential industrial uses. Take a look around you, at your home or your office. You have silver everywhere. Silver exists in virtually every electronic device, every semiconductor ever made. Silver is a big component of electric vehicles going forward. It's also essential in manufacturing, water purification, solar, and in the medical industry. The silver demand is rapidly increasing as silver is used, like I said, in literally every solar panel in existence. And some states, which, Dave, is going green. I know California is one of them. Every new home right now that's built has to have solar panels installed. And here's a fact that may astound you and our listeners. Silver, Dave, is the second most consumed industrial element on Earth after oil.
Wow.
The world is consuming over 1 billion ounces of silver annually. But here it is. Miners are only producing about 800 million ounces of silver a year. Mining output has dropped literally, Dave, year after year for the past few years.
A reminder here that you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and our topic today is the advantages of owning silver. Ken, it's easy to get caught up in speaking about silver as an industrial commodity. I mean, it's pretty amazing. But let's go back to the value and the beauty as a collectible precious metal.
Yeah, and let's talk about the premise. I like to talk about the premise real quick. Our government is broke. It has deficits. It spends each year much, much more than it takes in. That's called a deficit, folks. And if you keep doing that year after year after year, decade after decade after decade, and the spending is not going to stop and the printing is not going to stop. I mean, look at what's going on recently. We have economic problems. The markets are trembling. And we're going to send $60 billion to Ukraine. Treasury Secretary Yellen is talking about $100 trillion for a green initiative. President Biden is still pushing Build Back Better. Where's all this money going to come from? And what is all this debt and printing and spending going to do to our savings and our paper? That's what we're talking about, okay? But let me give you a little bit of perspective when it comes to silver, because this week we're talking not only gold as always, but this week we're talking a little silver. And silver has held its value, Dave, to mankind for over 2,500 years, while the industrial application has only been significantly factored in, over the last 50 years or so. Like gold, silver is a rare, lustrous, and malleable metal that is tangible private wealth, and it's a store of value. Remember, silver coins all the way back to the denarius, literally, to the Roman Empire. And the Roman Empire, once it started to, go down and have its demise, it started to devalue its currency and take silver out of the denarius. Believe it or not, history repeats itself. And that's what we're seeing with the dollar today as it's being devalued. Silver, Dave, is in its efficient and easily divisible medium of exchange that should be considered when diversifying any balanced financial portfolio. And remember, folks, besides a diversified portfolio across the board, we also want clients to have diversification within their precious metals. So besides gold, we always talk about is silver possibly an opportunity, or is platinum possibly an opportunity? And for beginning precious metals owners, Dave, or collectors, we don't try to make people collectors. It's more about wealth preservation and diversification. People who want to get money out of the banking system or out of the stock market and into precious metals that they could hold like gold and like silver. Silver provides, Dave, a very affordable and secure way to get started. And when I say affordable, I mean that the price is good as risk to reward as an investment. And I also mean that per ounce, literally more people could afford silver than possibly could afford gold, which is much more expensive per ounce. It's always been that way. For the experienced collector, Dave, silver provides a precious metal that could be easily liquidated, converted back to cash. You can give it as gifts. We may use it for bartering. I don't know. We don't know what money's going to look like 5 or 10 years from now. No one knows. And if they tell you they know what it looks like, they're lying or guessing. But we want to have options. And silver, as well as gold, will give us the ability to have those financial options to survive the upcoming financial crisis, which is quickly on top of us.
And listeners can call Midas Gold Group and get guidance on the most profitable way to own silver, physical silver, right?
Well, right, Dave. And we always talk about gold you hold is gold you own, and silver you hold is silver you own too. So, we're not talking about paper silver. We're not talking about silver ETFs or silver mining shares. We're talking about a way to own a precious metal that has significant upside due to financial and industrial uses and reasons. And silver right now meets that bill. And I would say that this is a real good opportunity for investors out there and for people who are looking to diversify to consider physical silver right now as a way to have some wealth preservation. And when it comes to such a risky stock market, such a risky banking system, such a risky paper dollar, and they're looking for different ways to protect their wealth.
And we're going to continue our look at the advantages of owning silver just a little bit later in the program. And we'll highlight the best ways to convert your cash or investments into the security of silver, ways that bypass any taxes, by the way. First, though, a reminder that you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group. And in a moment, we're going to look at a specific precious metal that you can use to safeguard your wealth. And that's coming up right after this.
The Fed lied when they initially said inflation was transitory. They knew it wasn't, but didn't want to panic the markets and you, the people. This is why they tried to keep secret the $125 trillion in loans they gave banks around the world. We've seen inflation ramping up, and Midas Gold Group thinks the Fed is way behind the curve with interest rates. It's time to call Midas Gold Group, 805-601-6000. You can add financial privacy and protection from inflation and profit potential to your investments through physical gold and silver. They provide you with the quality service and critical information you need without the pushy salesman. Get your portfolio reset with gold and silver. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino, and our topic today is the advantages of owning silver. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we encourage you to come and visit our local office to meet with us in person. For the address and the directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, just call us directly at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers, that's 855-322-4653. Ken, now we turn to look at a specific silver product, and today, the silver American Eagle. Why do you like this coin?
Well, Dave, the Silver American Eagle bullion coin boasts the title of being the most popular investment silver coin in the world. It has been struck since 1986. It's 0.99 silver. That's 39 silver, which is the definition of fine silver, and is an excellent choice for adding silver to your portfolio or for your potential investments, Dave.
We have featured a lot of amazing coins in the past, but the American Silver Eagle, it really has a beauty all of its own.
Yeah, it does. And the demand for this coin is very, very high. The demand for the Silver Eagle far outweighs what's going to be available from the mint. So it's kind of a situation where while the price is good, you may want to consider getting them while you can. But it's an impressive coin, Dave, to hold in your hand, as I'm doing right now. The design for the Silver American Eagle features what many considered to be the most beautiful design ever created on American coinage. The Augustus St. Gaudens double eagle, notwithstanding, obviously, which we've covered many, many times. But the Adolph Weinman's award-winning Walking Liberty design, originally used on half dollars, believe it or not, between 1916 and 1947. The reverse side of the silver American eagle, Dave, is equally beautiful, featuring John Mercanti's forward-facing eagle with wings spread open with 13 stars and a reverse triangle over the eagle. And as we talked about many times before, last year we also received a Type 2 American eagle, which has a little bit of a different eagle on the back, and the same thing with the gold American eagle. So a little bit of an adjustment since 1986 for the first time. The eagle, the original eagle, holds a banner in its beak with the words E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. The motto of the United States, Dave, a motto I might add, we would do well to probably strive to get back to. And finally, the whole design is encircled with the phrase United States of America, 1 ounce, fine silver, $1. But of course, it is worth far more than that, than its face value, according to the mint, as it's based on, as always, the weight and the purity and the value of the precious metal itself. So you can see, Dave, when you hold this impressive silver coin, it is substantial in both its design, its value, and its demand.
And these are available from Midas Gold Group, right?
At this particular moment, they are. We have them available physically in the offices in California and in the vaults in Arizona. And we have them available to ship out via insured UPS or FedEx. And we would encourage people, while the prices of gold and silver are down a little bit since March, they're on sale. Try to buy these coins and try to own these coins and own these precious metals when price is quiet. You don't want to wait until it rallies again and then you're paying too much. So they are available at this particular moment. They are qualifiable for the gold IRA, and I would encourage people to try and get a position or get a bigger position in silver in the market at this particular moment.
And I'm happy. I got to tell you, I'm really happy that I have got silver as a part of what I own as well. Ken, thank you so much. Coming up in a moment, we're going to continue talking about the advantages of owning silver with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, right after this.
I'm here with Midas Gold Group's senior trader and Marine Corps veteran, James Clark. James, why are people investing in gold and silver?
Well, Dr. Gorka, the Federal Reserve supplies money to pay for congressional spending. As Congress expands spending, the Fed has no choice but to keep printing money at an accelerated rate. This causes the dollar to fall and gold to increase.
So as the Fed and Congress devalue the dollar, what can people do?
As the nation's #1 veteran-owned precious metals dealer, we offer diversification strategies in the form of precious metals. As Congress looks to the Fed for more money, investors look to gold and silver to protect their nest egg.
And I recommend that you look to Midas Gold Group for all your precious metal needs. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino, and our topic today is the advantages of owning silver. Now, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, you have a particular advantage because you can come and actually visit our local office and meet with us in person, see some of the product that we talk about. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. Now, let's return to our topic today, the advantages of owning silver, and let's talk about ways to actually buy and possess the security of physical silver. First, Ken, you said that I can buy physical silver directly from Midas Gold Group, and I can store it safely in my possession just as I would gold, right?
Well, that's absolutely 100% correct, Dave. You could own silver in bar form. The most inexpensive way for people to own as much silver as they can for their money in this particular market would be 100-ounce bars of silver. The second way would be probably 1-ounce rounds. A round is a circular coin-shaped object that is made by a private company and it's 0.999 silver, that would be something that clients could consider. They could also consider a 1 ounce or a 10-ounce bar, which is also a very inexpensive way to own a lot of silver for your money. Other clients, they want to own a product that has the potential to do very well when silver does well, and that would be a bullion coin. And some of the most popular ones, Dave, would be like a silver eagle, a silver maple leaf, a silver kangaroo, silver Britannia. Some of those are the most popular ones that we see. Other clients that like a gold IRA sometimes consider silver-proof American Eagles. But, it requires a conversation, Dave. But these are the different ways that clients could own physical silver. And as we would say once again, if it's not physical and tangible form, you don't own it. So make sure that it's something that you can get your hands on. And in this particular case, there's many different ways to own silver, which we would be happy to explain to each individual client.
Ken, what if a person has most of their wealth assets in an IRA or a 401k or some other type of paper investment that obviously, as we see right now, is declining in value? Aside from buying and having your silver in your possession, I hear you saying that you can transfer a portion of those investments over into a precious metal IRA tax-free, right?
That's exactly right, Dave. And if you have an account that's losing a lot of value, and the fact of the matter, folks, is we probably have a long way to go. Walmart just this week announced that, things are not looking good. That's the consumer that is buying and focusing on a lot of just the necessities now with everything going on. It's going to get tough. And if you want to stop the bleeding in your accounts at this particular moment and you want to diversify, one way to do that is tax-free sideways move from your existing IRA or your pre-existing or pre-employment 401k, doing a rollover or a transfer into a gold and silver IRA tax-free. And some of the silver products that you can consider for that IRA, like we talked about, Dave, would be silver bars, silver rounds, silver bullion coins from government mints. These products all qualify for a gold-backed IRA. And that silver will just sit there at a depository. It should at least hold its value, but in my opinion, and in many people's opinions out there, it should be at a significantly higher value over the next 5 or 10 years that it is today. So you get the safety of a tangible physical metal that you could physically put either in your own possession or in an IRA. And there is the potential to see a big return with silver based on many of the factors that we talked about, like demand from investors and demand from industry and many other factors, Dave. And in this particular instance, diversification in physical precious metals, as always, gold is a big player in that factor. Mm-hmm. But in this particular case, also consider silver, which, based on all of the reasons what we talked about, is definitely something that people should be aware that they have access to. And at this particular moment is a tremendous opportunity, Dave, as well as gold.
Ken, I trust my savings and my investments to Midas Gold Group because of the information and the guidance that I get from you about owning precious silver and gold, just like you've given us today. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, Dave. Nice to talk to you again.
That is going to bring us to the end of our time together here on The Gold Standard with Ken Russo, brought to you by Midas Gold Group. And a reminder, opinions given are not intended to be specific to your investment strategy, but rather general information to give you a better understanding of investing in precious metals. For answers to your questions, call Midas Gold Group at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD, by the numbers 855-322-4653. And the website is MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. The Midas Gold Group is proud to be America's #1 veteran-owned gold dealer, supporting veterans' causes with a portion of profits donated to the Wounded Warriors Project and the Semper Fi Fund. So your investment in your future is also an investment in the future of those who have bravely served the cause of freedom. Again, the number to call to speak directly with Midas Gold Group is 855-322-GOLD. Ken, thank you again for your time today.
Yeah, my pleasure, Dave. We'll talk again real soon.
I'm Dave Dino. Come and join us again next week at this same time for another edition of The Gold Standard.
The Gold Standard was brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.